What is up, people of the internet? Welcome back to another episode of the Waveform podcast. We're your hosts. I'm Marquez.
I'm Andrew.
And I'm David.
And in today's episode, we're kind of all over the map. We've got some good things and bad things in the world of social media. For example, YouTube lost their CEO. Twitter started charging for security. Instagram and Meta copying some other things Twitter did. There's just a lot of stuff going on. We're going to talk about social media, but we're also going to wrap it up with some tech that we're enjoying lately. But first, we finally did make that AI Bing video that we were talking about last week. The angle that I chose to take was the truth problem, which I thought was a nice way of avoiding the entire everything happening in the AI world and focusing it on something that I think is more interesting, because there's this layer of these chatbot AI experiences where they're synthesizing really nice sentences that sound very natural and human, but they also may or may not say things that are wrong all the time. And so that's just kind of an interesting thing where people will talk to them and they'll believe what they're saying and they'll feel like, oh, maybe they're sentient, they're so human and so natural, and there's these crazy stories, they go back and forth, and there's tons of cool examples all over social media. But the chatbots don't understand what they are saying, and that is maybe something that's going to have to be different in the future, possibly. We'll see. So go watch that video. That's out there. Microsoft has limited the Bing chatbot experience a bit since our last podcast episode. And literally the day that we were shooting that AI truth video, we were playing with it again, and we noticed it just refuses to answer some questions now. It stops conversations after a couple of queries. So it's more good at reining itself in or not getting out of control, which is probably the entire intended purpose. I feel like they kind of neutered the fun a little bit.
Well, yeah, because it was completely destroying all Bing's PR essentially for it, right? Because like only things people were posting were totally unhinged conversations.
I don't know, it was kind of fun.
It was super fun, but like if you're Bing or Microsoft or ChatGPT, OpenAI, like, and the only news you see coming out about you is like the ChatGPT giving itself a name and talking about spying on people through their webcams and
Not
like wanting to be pulled out of Bing or whatever. Like that's terrible.
Why am I Bing?
Yeah.
Why am I inside
Just
here?
today, though, they actually are loosening those restrictions a little bit again.
Really?
They just put this article out about it. Now they're going to be releasing a few different modes that you can use with it, where you can do a strict mode or a creative mode or a balanced mode.
Okay. Creative.
This actually makes a lot of sense because when you're making, I was thinking about transformer models a lot recently and how you basically how you code like truth into a transformer, and you can't obviously, but something you can do is that you can like set a parameter for like how close to the original source you want something to be. And so I was thinking about like, this is why there's problems with some ChatGPT queries, like almost exactly scraping books.
Like a Wikipedia
article, or some, you could say like a Dolly thing almost looking exactly like an existing painting. It's because you can set parameters for like how accurate you want it to be. It's called like guidance when you're training a transformer.
Yeah.
And so what they're doing now is they're basically like allowing for, if you want it to be more creative, then the accuracy of the positioning of those vectors in 3D space does not have to be as close to one another, so it can be a little bit more creative.
Okay.
But I think that they had the guidance on like full whatever you want to do mode on the original Bing, and that's why it was being like full on creative,
super creative,
right?
Yeah.
Which for a search engine, you probably want to be a lot more strict with what you're doing.
Yeah. I guess reputationally, if you're Bing, obviously we talked about how Google has everything to lose and Bing has everything to gain, but you still can't really just be spewing chaotic stories and random things because people will believe it. They don't really know how these things work, and they think it's like telling you something.
Yeah.
So that's obviously they had to sort of turn those dials in the background. I'm just curious now. I feel like the truth understanding part has to be added as a layer on top of the models. I think the models will continue to work as they are and have all the dials turning.
Yeah.
But then once it spits out an output, it should have a way of going, oh, I just suggested that A equals B. Let me just check with my sources. If that could be on top, if that's an additional technology, I think that would be pretty sick.
Right. I want to know how Microsoft's Prometheus search model is working because I want, because like obviously it's using the ChatGPT transformer stuff just to create the natural language from the things it's scraping. But I'm curious about how many links it's scraping from in order to create that, because theoretically you could create some sort of truth paradigm if you scrape like 100 websites that are like the top smartphone cameras for 2022 and then create like a confidence interval based on like number one is Galaxy S23 Ultra or whatever. Then you could like kind of create some sort of truth paradigm through that. But
so here's the other thing I noticed.
Yeah.
Is even if you do stay pretty strict to the guidance of your sources, that relies on the sources being accurate.
Right.
And I remember specifically in the video I asked, what are the top 5 electric cars you can buy right now? And the I-Pace, the Jaguar I-Pace was on the list. And I was like, no, this kind of doesn't feel right. And then when you hover over some of the sources, as Bing will, they'll just give you the sources that it pulled from, and you can check the links and actually look at the articles. And there are some articles that are like, here are the best electric cars. So you're like, oh, I see how you filled this in. All of them had the Tesla Model 3 on it. So there it is. And I clicked on one of the links, and it had the I-Pace on it. And I was like, okay, so you just believed this website, and it was just a random website that had a top 10, and it was from 2023, and it was up to date and everything. It was just a bad list.
Right.
So yeah, even if you do train the models amazingly well, there's that variable too.
The irony of this is this kind of highlights how bad Bing without AI is versus Google, because I remember when we searched like best smartphone cameras, and the first link that it gave us was some website I'd never heard of before.
That was on Bing.
Yeah,
just Bing, not ChatGPT.
We used the AI Bing, but it gave us like the top 3 sources, and the number one source was some random website we'd never heard of before.
Yeah.
Like that just means that the first thing that comes up for Bing is some random website that you can't really trust.
I think the thing also though is we're never going to find out how it uses Bing, the Prometheus model, because like if they ever release anything about that, then it's open game for people finding out how to game a system like that. And now we're just into what is search engine optimization for AI chat functions going to be.
Yeah, it's like another layer, because we already know there's entire businesses based on SEO for Google. We want to be on page 1 of Google search results for these very high CPM terms, and to get affiliate links in there and to make money from being the top result. If inevitably Google starts doing this chatbot thing, yes, that will be a new industry of, all right, how is Google sorting through these top results, and do we need to be on the first page, or do we need to start stacking a bunch of terms for popular queries for what people search with the chatbot? It's new. It's new territory. It's going to be fun to watch how this sort of plays out. But yeah, they're still turning the dials with Bing. Just trying stuff.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see these like strict versus loose versus balanced models.
It does seem though that even in the loosest form, they're still completely cutting off if you try and ask the chat essentially like who it is and what it's feeling. It'll just shut down the conversation.
Sorry, I got to end this conversation now.
Yeah.
It says like I would like to stop. I would like to stop now.
And and closes it so you can't even
you have to like reset
continue.
Microsoft puts the gaming muzzle on Bing every time you ask it that kind of question.
It's like here's another question or an angle to think about this. There is the whole argument about like this is existential crisis mode for Google, right? Because people are going to stop Googling things and they're going to start asking the chatbot over at Bing the same types of stuff and getting helpful answers. My question is, are they actually, or is it just a matter of time before eventually Google gets confident enough with its own version to add that on the top of Google search, and then we're right back where we started, where they have equivalent products and Google's just better at ranking things, and that's the end of it?
I think that's always what I've thought. Yeah.
I think that'll happen.
To me, this is like
second mover advantage.
This is the really fun. I'm glad Bing did this because we got some solid entertainment out of it, and Google is going to come and just beat it pretty bad.
There's always a period of just pure chaos whenever a new technology comes out, and all the big companies that have existed for a while that have a lot to lose just like let everyone else mess up so that they could just watch, like sit back and be like, okay, we're going to...
They see everybody else stumble. It's like if we talk about folding phones, no one really goes, oh, is this existential for Apple? Like, is the iPhone over? Are folding phones the next thing? Maybe it's because we're like looking for a new thing and it's more like just speculation, but I'm sure Apple has been quietly taking notes on the last 6 years of folding phones, and in case they ever do want to do one, they'll have all of that information from everyone else's trials and errors. Bing, Google, kind of a duopoly. You could still Yahoo search, I guess, maybe. But I think the idea is Google is not going to be the first mover on something crazy like this when they are the market leader. They're going to take notes. They're going to watch what Bing's doing. They see the dials getting turned. They're like, okay, yeah, no existential stuff. Yeah, take notes. No creative stuff. And then when they come out with their Bard thing, it seems like we're back to square one.
I keep forgetting it's called Bard.
Bard.
Yeah.
I keep calling it Lambda. Because the Bard announcement was, I think I looked it up, it was an 8-minute announcement.
It was a section of their...
It was barely even anything, yeah.
I don't think anybody... Well, the thing about talking to it, people are still going to call it Google. They're going to call it... Like, Bing is just Bing, whether or not you're talking to the chatbot or
it'll
Bing
just
itself.
be Google.
So it'll just be... To people, it'll just be Google Chat or something.
Google Chat with Bard
Another
technology.
Google Chat. Another Google Chat.
Don't hurt me again. I've been hurt before.
That's why they're so reluctant, yeah. Would you rather... I don't know why I thought of this.
Would you rather? Here we go.
Would you rather use Google Assistant by saying, "Hey Google" or "Hey Bard"? Just Bard.
I like the G word.
I don't.
It's easy.
It's too long. I think that's my biggest gripe.
Well, the thing is,
with
it has
Google.
to be a unique enough syllable combo that you don't accidentally trigger it all the time.
I managed to trigger it more than I would like to admit.
The G word?
Yeah, because
Imagine
I call
how much Bard is going to trigger things.
embarrassingly enough, we call Mac Boo Boo sometimes, and that pops
that
up
triggers it
all the time.
Yeah, that's going to do it.
And it's always just like reacting to stupid baby talk that I say to Mac. It's like, I don't know how to do that. It's just like,
Yeah.
Is Boo Boo hungry?
it's like, Boo Boo, do you have to go to the bathroom? It's like, Google's like, I don't have to do that.
There's a great video online of
do
like
that. I'm an AI.
there's like a grandma talking to Google, but she's foreign and she just keeps saying Google. Google. It's funny, but yeah, like Bard is like you could just say any AR word. Like Bard just sounds too similar to other words that I feel like you'd trigger it all.
I would like to test it. At least it's not a real name like Alexa, where people with that name have to
Yeah.
just constantly
Fair.
be made fun of. From
There's like
Alexa.
3 guys
I
named
feel bad
Bard
for
that are
them.
like really mad at Google. Like,
That's a good
Bard,
point.
really? You have to name
How
him?
common is Bard as a name?
It's not as can't be
There's
as
a
common
League of
as
Legends
Alexa.
character.
I was going to say this opens the door to like an epic Dungeons and Dragons character. That's both
Bard
like,
sounds
that's
awesome.
both a bard and a Google Assistant.
And really smart.
Bard's a pretty cool
Bard is
League of
the
Legends character.
5,809th most common surname in America.
What's Alexa?
Yeah, what is Alexa?
But that's surname.
That's a last name?
Yeah,
Oh. So it's I don't think most people are named Bard as their given name.
probably not.
But Siri and Alexa are like real names, at least in the US.
Is
That, like,
Siri-
people-
Also,
there are
Bart-
some people named Siri. Yeah.
Bart.
Bart.
Oh,
is a
yeah,
real
that
one.
would
Bart
be a
is
problem.
common, and if you call
Yeah.
that's going to be like an accidental
That's
trigger
gonna set
all
up.
the time. Which is why probably Google won't. I think Google has to stick with the G word command.
Whoa. In 2015, Alexa was the 32nd most popular name for girls.
Yeah.
What was
a normal name.
was Amazon thinking? Every
was
time I
around
really
that
think
time,
about
too.
that,
It was around that
Yeah,
time.
right.
They
too.
wanted it to be natural, right? So it's natural, but it's too
just call
natural.
it dad at that point.
It's
Sup,
too
dad?
natural.
In 2021, there were 9 baby girls named Siri.
Oh, that's less than I thought. That's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, Siri sounds like a newish kind of name.
1 out of every 197,721 baby girls born in 21 were named Siri.
I'm hoping nobody was named Google in the past year. I'm hoping.
Oh man.
It
How many
might be
people?
greater than it might be a non-zero number, but I'm hoping it's 0.
I
hate this
Elon
title.
kid.
Wait, please read that title out
A boy
loud.
named Google and a girl named Vista. Why parents named their kids after tech.
Imagine naming your kid after Windows Vista.
No, not Windows Vista. No. Imagine your next kid's name is 7.
What the heck? Oliver Christian
I feel like
Googles.
nobody got that. Nobody got that
Windows
joke.
7.
Sorry, I zoned out. I blacked out. What happened?
Better than 8.
7?
Windows are the actual name.
Oh, I see.
What?
People love the number 7.
Yeah, I was just saying Windows 8 is
Oh,
worse
Windows
than
8 is better than
7.
Windows 7. That's
What?
right. We're off. the
No,
rails.
you are off. No. You are wrong.
What?
Windows 8 is better than Windows 7?
Yeah.
No.
I mean,
No. Enjoy the comments on this one,
on the
Marquez.
power rankings of like this the scale of like all of Windows, people didn't like Windows 8 as much as they like the AB thing.
I think you're thinking of 8.1.
People hated Vista, loved 7, hated 8, liked 10. That's the thing.
That's what I said.
I know, I agree with you,
Oh.
but I still think Windows 8 was better.
I think you're thinking of
Oh,
8.1.
I disagree.
This is the hot take. then.
8 was like only the panels.
Yeah,
And
yeah, it was
8.1
awful.
is when they added the Windows 7.
And 7 was
main
amazing.
thing.
8.1 is better than 7.
Yeah.
7 was so good. 7 was amazing.
I'll leave it at that. Before I get flamed in the comments. for
Yeah,
this take.
man. Too late.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people paused this already and are flaming.
They're
you.
typing already. It's over.
A lot
for
of
me.
people already turned this podcast off.
How more into the weeds can we get? We do want to quickly mention this crazy Samsung feature. So you know how there's a Google Assistant feature where it will go out and make phone calls for you. Let's say you ask it to reserve a table at a restaurant. In certain supported situations, it will go out and with the voice assistant, talk to somebody and reserve a table for you. Crazy. New Verge headline from today. Samsung says users will be able to clone their own voice to respond to incoming phone calls. So I know there's a lot of voice cloning, AI voice tech floating around right now. Of all of those ideas, I like this one the best.
I do. Did you? And
Like,
to go,
Because you don't have to talk to people.
I don't want any more phone calls. This sounds great.
you saw like how, just to explain how it works, it's not just like the Google total AI of using your voice and just responding. It's your texting.
Type, yeah.
Yeah, you're typing and it's using your voice.
Perfect.
Which
That's
I think
fine.
is epic.
I'll
I
take
love
it.
this.
I don't want to say I can't wait because you should not do this, but I can't wait till there's people texting and driving
Instead of calling.
instead of
Don't do
using their
that. I
hands
should
free
say.
device
Oh
my God.
in a car.
That's so much more dangerous.
It's
like,
just like
hands-free is ideal. So wait, so here's an even better one. I talk, it does voice to text, and then
was
text back
just
to my
gonna say
voice. Use my cloned voice so I don't have to type. Perfect.
Oh my God.
I want to try this. Just because I want to see how good it is.
Yeah.
Like on the fly using your voice, how long do you have to talk into the like microphone for it to get your voice? Is it like setting up a fingerprint where you say a
like
bunch
a voice
of things?
print. Yeah, probably.
I would assume you'd have to do quite a bit.
I'm
I
gonna try
mean,
it.
you actually don't need that much reference audio anymore.
Really?
Yeah. You used to need a lot more.
Yeah, you'd have to say a bunch of words in a certain
I think you only need
intonations.
3 seconds of reference audio to get a good voice match now.
To do for a whole like straight up typing any man, I could understand that for
That's impressive.
like setting up Siri or Google or something like that,
like
like
only
getting
talk-
your understanding your voice to
Yeah.
recognize it, but replicating it,
That's very
I feel like
impressive.
it.
Like when we talked to Astro, we had to say like 5 or 6 phrases just to
Yeah.
get Alexa to like know
Yeah.
what we were saying and
Go
to
to
understand
the
people.
bedroom.
Yeah, we're like, hey Alexa, dance. So yeah, no, I'm gonna try it. I really like Google Call Screen, but I
wanna
am
try it.
dailying an S23 Ultra right now, so I'm gonna give this new Bixby feature a try. Not a
I am
thing
going
say
to
very
give
often.
this new Bixby feature a try.
It's my real voice.
Yeah.
I'll wait till it comes out. But yeah, S23 Ultra in the pocket. We should take a break. But before we do, let's do a trivia question.
Oh boy.
All right, so was gone last week, back this week. Gonna come with a heater. So, as David told us not 10 minutes ago, there were 9 baby girls born in 2021 named Siri. Were there more or less boys born in 2021 named Anakin,
Like the Star Wars name.
like the Star Wars
That's
name?
an interesting
Like
question.
the name that.
You said there were
Hates
9 series?
Yeah. So are there more born in 2021? Were there more Siris or Anakins?
I know this.
I think it's. I have a
Except that I
hint.
don't.
I have a theory.
I'm also basing this off of one website's data because that is where that is the only place I could find data
You're
on
just
number
as
of
bad as
Anakins
being
born.
AI, Alice.
As long as you cite your source, you just have to take your word for it.
That also means I'm just as good as being AI.
That's a fact.
I don't know if that's a compliment.
That's good framing. That's good framing. Right there.
You just reframe it that way.
We'll leave it at that. We'll think about it. The answers will be at the end, but let's get to the ad break.
The bad break.
The ad break. Did I say bad break?
Don't call it the bad break.
I don't think you said there was just
demonetized.
like.
Let's get to
it
the
kind of sounded
ad break. Support for this episode comes from Indeed. So hiring the right person for a role is critical. They might be working with you for years. You want to be confident that they're up to the job. So just to be absolutely sure, Andrew, David, what makes you absolutely sure you're right for the Waveform podcast?
I've been told that I'm a pretty cool guy. So I think that's wow.
My biggest strength is that I've memorized the outro.
That's pretty good. It's like a
it.
surprise job.
That's
interview.
it.
Did I just get fired?
If surprise job interviews aren't really your thing, Indeed is a hiring platform where you can attract potential candidates, interviews, and hire them all in one place. So don't spend hours on multiple job sites looking for candidates with the right skills. You can do it all on Indeed. So find top talent fast with Indeed's suite of hiring tools like Indeed Instant Match, assessments, and virtual interviews. in case maybe you don't have a recording studio like us. So Indeed knows that finding people with the right skills makes all the difference when you're a hiring team of one. So visit Indeed.com/waveform to start hiring now. Just go to Indeed.com/waveform. Indeed.com/waveform. Terms and conditions apply. Cost per application pricing not available for everyone. Need to hire? You need Indeed. Support for this podcast comes from Gigabyte. So from top-tier gaming to powerful content creation, Gigabyte is looking to take you to the next level with their next-generation laptops.
Yeah, scrolling through their like laptop section, there's a bunch of different models. I was immediately looking at the 360 hertz screen because I can't believe they put that on a laptop already.
Naturally. But they have a 4K OLED, so that's what I would personally go with. I don't know. David, what would you pick between them?
As someone who plays games and also takes photos?
Yeah.
Like, do they have anything in the middle? Because I don't know. I'm like okay with 1440 is still pretty good.
Yeah, 1440, 240 hertz.
Oh, 240 hertz?
On a laptop.
I mean, that's a pretty good in between.
It's pretty nice.
Solid.
Gigabyte's latest laptops under the gamer-focused Aorus and creator-centric Aero brand are available now. All the models are designed to accommodate the latest generation 13th gen CPUs and RTX 40 series GPUs from Intel and NVIDIA with slender, light, and sleek designs. The new Aorus 17X and 15X bring their A-game with stunning graphics performance, and then the flagship Aorus 17X boasts a 24-core Intel chip, the i9-HX CPU, and an NVIDIA RTX 4090. With full access to the 175-watt TGP. Thanks to the WindForce Infinity cooling system, these portable powerhouses can keep cool under pressure. And for content creators, the new Aero 14 and 16 OLED laptops with the dual color-calibrated from Pantone and X-Rite 2.0 factory OLED panel lets your work shine the way it's meant to, with a delta E of less than 1 for perfect color accuracy. Discover more at aorus.com/laptops/landing. All right, welcome back. Let's talk about social media for a little bit. Any of you guys do any social media stuff?
No, I hate social media.
Nothing? Me neither? All right, we can move on.
Yeah, okay.
No, just kidding. This is on YouTube, and you guys might have heard the news. This was kind of like right between last episode and this one. Susan Wojcicki, previous CEO for a long time, is stepping out as the leader of the YouTube ship. So Neil Monahan, who we've had on Waveform already, is going to be the new CEO. He's sort of like head of product, which like YouTube as a product has a bunch of products underneath it. That's like makes perfect sense. She's going to advise him. He's going to be the new CEO. She's going to step out. But yeah, Susan as the face of YouTube gets a lot of the blame and almost none of the credit. That's kind of like how it works when you're the CEO of a big company that does a lot of stuff. I feel like other social media company CEOs get the same treatment. If you are head of Facebook, Twitter, or think of any of the other ones that were far less stable, how many things go wrong and they just go, oh, it's the CEO's fault, isn't it?
Yeah.
And we kind of ignore the things that went well. I kind of had my take on Twitter on the day of, which is like, all right, well, Susan got us here. You know, I'm sure being the CEO is kind of the hardest job where all the easier decisions get made by the people you are advising. And then if a decision is so difficult that it gets all the way to the top, then that's on you. And so she made a lot of those tough decisions, and we saw the results of them. She gets blamed for, you know, removing the dislike counter, for the adpocalypse, for all the various things YouTube has gone through over the years. But at the end of the day, my take was, if you look at YouTube versus the other social media sites, it's still kind of the gold standard as far as consistency, as far as monetization models, as far as if you're a creator, where you think your work will be discovered. That's not always the maximum virality. That's going to be TikTok at the moment. That might have been Instagram Reels last year. But if you want to be discoverable in a long-term, meaningful way, it's been like 10 years of YouTube being really good at that. So, you know, shout out to Susan. See what Neil comes up with. But that's kind of where we're at with YouTube. Do you guys have takes on Susan leaving?
I mean, I'm sad about it. I think I totally understand people blaming CEOs when things are going wrong. I just think the things that quote unquote went wrong at YouTube like weren't as big of a deal. I mean, like Adpocalypse was bad, but ultimately like that's for the survival of the platform. Like ads run that platform. They had to do content moderation based on ads. They were still letting people post. They were still letting people do their stuff.
Oh, yeah,
they just weren't giving them money because they couldn't run ads on their stuff anymore.
Yeah.
That needed to be done. And I know some people lost a ton of revenue on it, but like the advertisers aren't going to want to be on your site there anyways. They're still giving you free uploads to a website. I don't know. I just don't have I don't think Adpocalypse was that bad. And I think the reason YouTube is still doing so well in terms of monetization for creators, and by so well, I mean just the best bar none, is because of hard decisions like that were made that will have flack, but in the long run were 100% the right decision.
Yeah. I feel like the other hot take I had on Twitter, and I so stand by this, is that YouTube actually listens to creators. And I got a lot of people going, what are you talking? What? Try being not MKBHD. Like, that YouTube does not listen to people. YouTube does their own thing and constantly burns creators left and right. And that's easy to say, but look at what YouTube does in trying to listen to as many creators as possible, however successful they are, and then look at every other social media site and whether they're even trying or even pretending to listen to creators. We don't have a TikTok content, I don't think. A TikTok rep at all? Contact?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
Do you know how you got verified?
I definitely don't. I wish we did.
I don't think we do, right? You know, it's 1.5 million followers over there. It's whatever. It's a tiny account. Instagram.
Yeah, come on, dude. So many people got
Like,
sad about that.
do people have TikTok content like reps at all?
I'm sure
there's a few.
Probably. Yeah.
But that's about where it probably ends.
Yeah.
As far as getting communication on rules that are changing, on getting like feature updates and beta testing things before they come out, like that does not happen on TikTok. That hasn't happened very much on Instagram. There's like a brand new feature, and that we'll talk about in a second as far as Instagram. But like Twitter, what are you gonna even say about like being stable on Twitter? Like that's pretty tough. I used to have a Twitter contact.
I was gonna say
work there anymore.
Yeah.
It's tough, right? So YouTube, not only do they have these like creator plaques as like incentives and rewards, like, oh, you've hit the subscriber number. We understand that's meaningful to you. We want to show you how much we value you as a creator. It's a small thing. It's a little plaque. They can ship 1 million of them a year, but they don't have to do it. They still do it, right? They have a creator summit every year that they didn't have it in the pandemic, but essentially a gathering in certain regions of like the top creators to actually talk to people, and not just talk to them as like a show and then leave, but to listen to them, to explain new features coming up. And I just remember in the middle of like the year of the adpocalypse, going to the creator summit and knowing that that's all we're going to talk about, and observing like the leadership at YouTube, including Susan, being squarely in the middle, where it's like, you, in order for this to work as a website and a platform, you need to appease the advertisers who spend the money. And in order for this to work as a platform, you need to appease the creators that make the content that drive 90-something% of the viewership that the advertisers are buying on. You need to make everyone happy somehow. So you need to listen to both. You need to understand both. You need to make really tough choices in this like balancing act of actually getting it to work. And so I had a lot of sympathy for that, and they eventually made it out the other side. But it was like, when we had that meeting, we actually like talked to them, they listened. I remember a creator standing up and being like, hey, Susan, why don't we just say screw all the advertisers, because they need you, right? Like, it's YouTube. If they want to spend money on TV ads and billboards, fine, but they'll be back, right? And Susan kind of had to go like, yes, but also we really want this to work well. Like, we don't want to just go screw you guys and then have them come crawling back to us. We want to maintain good relationships with them and like keep it going. It's
That's
an
what
ecosystem.
Elon did, and they did not come crawling back.
Yeah, not yet anyway, right? So it's a tough spot. And we see this stuff, and YouTube does put in all this effort to not only help creators, but advertisers at the same time. I just don't see that anywhere else. Maybe I'm missing it, but like, I feel like that's a pretty important thing.
It's also not to say that YouTube doesn't have some issues. Like, there are plenty of small creators, and like music licensing and copyright stuff is like, there are definitely some issues there. But like, I do ultimately think in facing a lot of tough decisions, they generally did a good way to benefit both. Because like you said, they can take it and say, screw the advertisers. But the whole thing that stunk about Adpocalypse was creators not getting paid. So if you screw the advertisers, you're still not getting paid because there's no advertisers. So like, it's to help the creators as well. That's paying the creators.
Yeah. YouTube's had, just one more thing. YouTube's had like problems, like as you mentioned. I make videos and talk about the problems on YouTube because I know they're listening. If there's one thing I can guarantee is when I make the Dear YouTube video, when they had like the problem with dislike the comment spam, remember that whole phase where there'd just be comments under every video impersonating us? I made a video about that. Within hours, I'm talking to the head of product who's in charge of that, and they actually kind of did a really good job with that. They added tools for that. It's, spammers are constantly working against those tools, but that was one thing. Getting rid of the dislike button, I also talked about how that was a terrible idea. Here we are. I still disagree with the decision, but it's like they had to appease the other side of that too, which is advertisers. So it's a balancing act. Go ahead.
Yeah, I wanted to say that, like, unlike Instagram, who all these tech companies, when they see a new trend that is incredibly popular, they try to just jump on like that trend and try to make it a core part of their product. And Facebook and Instagram have done that with everything that has come out. Instagram Stories copied Snapchat, and now Reels is copying TikTok. But where Instagram pivoted their entire platform to being about Instagram Reels, Reels,
yeah.
not Facebook, YouTube Shorts. They're integrating it and they're encouraging people to use it, but they're not destroying the core product while integrating it.
Yeah.
Like they're trying to make it like a cohesive addition that is useful, that will get you like more visibility and all these things, and eventually will become monetizable and all this stuff. But the core reason that people still use YouTube is YouTube, and they're not going to like throw away long form videos just to do short form.
Yeah. These are all like balanced long-term health of the platform decisions that have to be made by and the new CEO, by the way, Neil's going to get all the same blames for all the things that go wrong and all the decisions that happen. So like, welcome, Neil. Want to come back and talk about it?
Whereas like the Adam Nazir, what is his name?
Adam Mosseri at Instagram.
Yeah, he like he just puts on this mask of like, we hear you, but we just don't care.
He's maybe one
like
of the
his whole
next
thing.
best. He's one of the next best because he at least communicates new upcoming features in a way that if you're a creator and you follow him, you get value from that and you feel like you're getting something out of it, even though it's just a public post. But yeah, I feel like
Just feels like they don't really care about creators.
it would be nicer if it was a dialogue instead of just a post.
Yeah, right.
So there's something there for YouTube. I'm gonna keep making YouTube videos. I don't know if anything's going to change too dramatically with the change in leadership, but we'll see.
AI won't take our job.
Yeah, not yet anyway.
Yeah.
It's also just sad to see like women in tech in these big positions leaving, essentially. Like they're good role models, essentially, and we need more of it. And Neil's going to do great. There's nothing against that. It's just anytime you see a woman in tech in a big position.
She's been at Google for since the beginning, like literally her garage,
Employee
like the
16.
garage days, like that's part of it.
Yeah, that's what I
employee
read. I was
16.
confused. She let them start it in her garage and then got hired a year later as the 16th employee.
Yeah, I believe she was renting it out to them.
Yeah.
Her garage.
Literally her garage.
She was
It's always
Google's
so
landlord.
interesting.
Google.
Google's
Her garage. Kind of sick. Small flex.
Yeah, just a little
She's
bit.
been around.
Also,
Okay.
the fact that she owned a home in like Menlo Park or whatever.
Yeah,
that
those
was.
garages now, when you like drive through like Cupertino and you just see like all the houses where it's
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, like Apple was in one of those garages, and then you look on Zillow, you're like, damn.
Yeah, it's like a
Oh, wow.
falling apart shack, and it's like
Yeah.
$6 million.
It's crazy. It's crazy town. It probably wasn't always like that, but it was kind of always like that.
Yeah.
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 Okay, Twitter also did some stuff. Twitter, where do we? I guess we'll just do the big thing because
Yeah.
Twitter's always doing stuff. But I think the thing that most people noticed was that if you had SMS two-factor authentication set up on your account and you are not a Twitter Blue paying subscriber, that you literally, did you get this? You got like a dialog box pop up?
Didn't because I use an authenticator app.
Okay, so if you had SMS, you got a dialog box that popped up and said, you're going to have to turn this off because this is becoming a paid Twitter Blue feature, which I will stand by this. If you offer something for free and then you turn it into a paid feature, the internet will revolt, period.
Yeah.
It's just going to happen. You can't take something free and make it paid. So they're doing that. The internet's revolted, but there also is this little sub dialogue, which is also like, you probably shouldn't use SMS specifically two-factor. We use an authenticator app. And I actually switched my authenticator app by seeing all of the dialogue around Google Authenticator and how there's no backups, and I switched to Authy.
That happened to me. I lost everything.
Yeah, so like I switch phones a lot, and if I ever like accidentally get rid of some stuff on one phone, I just lost all my two-factor, which would be rough.
Yeah.
So I switched authenticator apps, but the point is, if you use SMS two-factor, I would advise you to switch to a authenticator app because number one, it's free and you don't have to pay Twitter for it. And number two, you're a little bit more secure because theoretically, SMS two-factor is a little more vulnerable to phishing attacks, man-in-the-middle attacks, calling your carrier, pretending to be you, getting your SIM deactivated, stuff like that.
The irony of this is that Jack Dorsey had his account hacked via a SMS two-factor
SMS?
authentication hack like 3 years ago.
They should have just disabled the feature.
That's
like,
what-
if it's so insecure, why move it behind a paywall? Just
It's
disable
the
it.
most insecure feature, and they moved it behind a paywall.
It makes it feel like it's the more premium version by putting it behind a paywall.
Yeah.
It's just because
and
it's
then
easier, I think.
I think it is because it's easier, but also like, are we not the new owner of Twitter constantly is saying that they want to prevent all these like scams and bots and everything, but now you're moving a security update away from people unless you pay for it to now potentially have those because there's a lot of people who had SMS that rather than download an authenticator are just going to run non-two-factor authentication.
They're just going to go, oh, I don't want to subscribe for Twitter Blue. I guess I'm turning off two-factor now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just like, I don't understand that. And now
Yeah.
if those people's accounts are more easily compromised, they're running easier scams. This, I just don't get. This is just such a
Yeah. My argument
stupid.
is please push people to use an authenticator app. Like it's technically like if you go all the way dig into the settings and you see that checkbox and then you see the app is like recommended in parentheses, then that's better, I guess. But like that dialog box had it like in fine print at the bottom. I would like people to just immediately switch from SMS two-factor to an authenticator app and that be the thing that happens here. But we're probably not going to have much of that happening. So that's my advice. Please.
The irony too is that a lot of the accounts that pay for Twitter Blue are probably going to be like the really big celebrities and stuff who need their accounts to be verified. And if they're the only ones that have access to a less secure security
Then,
format, it's like
Not ideal.
There's just not a lot of sense being made in this move. I feel
logic
like I
doesn't-
just don't get it.
The logic doesn't stay in one direction.
This isn't pushing more people to Blue. It's not worth the PR that they've gotten from this. I just don't really get it. Twitter Blue subscribers are like pathetic, aren't they? It's like under 200,000, I think, a recent report said.
I thought you meant
Yeah.
Oh, well,
Oh, no.
take that as you will. If
As
someone wants to
people-
clip that, enjoy it.
As
But no. I
Clip
mean, the
that.
number of Twitter Blue subscribers
I'm a
is
Twitter Blue
totally minuscule.
pathetic.
Yeah. No, it is a small number for sure.
It's very small.
So this is a head scratcher. I mean, it's rule number one for me. It's rule number one. But the other thing that we also saw happen was the head of Meta, his name is Mark Zuckerberg. He added a feature called Meta Verified. Let me know if you've heard this before. A subscription service that lets you verify your account with a government ID, get a blue badge, and it's $12 a month on the web or $14.99 a month on iOS.
Oh my God.
Does this ring any bells?
I thought you weren't allowed to say that,
What?
like out loud. Like it is less expensive somewhere that doesn't get the
What
cut.
you're not allowed to do is give people a button in the app on the phone to leave to pay on the web.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you can, in your announcement, say whatever you want. Yeah, they're taking a 30% cut. I assume this is also on Android. There's the same 30% cut. So it will cost 30% more to subscribe from one of those platforms. I guess the nice thing about this, I know they're kind of just copying Twitter Blue, but the nice thing about this is it is a little bit more than just a verified badge. Just a little bit. Just a little
Yes.
bit. I'll read what it is. You get the blue badge to be verified. You use your government ID, so it's got to be you. It also gets you extra impersonation protection, like monitoring. So there will be some service that keeps track of if you get impersonated and will actively take down impersonators. Cool.
That's handy.
That's nice. You get direct access to a customer support chat feature, and it's kind of also like boosting your posts. You get
Oh, really?
yeah, according to Adam Mosseri's video that he also tweeted about this, you in Instagram anyway get sort of an algorithmic priority if you are a subscriber.
If you're like
Facebook's
verified.
they've been pay to play forever. Like it's not shocking that they
Yeah.
would do that, but yeah, that's the thing.
Interesting.
Can we start this out by how this announcement was made? Because I feel like we're not talking about it, and it just seems wild to me.
But
It's
this like channel
this
thing?
like weird because there's something posted before. Does everyone who's verified just have this weird like channel that it also says at the bottom says never miss an update from Zuck, all lowercase. Only Zuck can message, but you can read, react, and vote and poll.
yeah.
Because
Okay,
I
so-
did not get this message.
Oh.
Good,
Always,
good
can
question. So to rewind a little bit, there's a new feature called broadcast channels on
Okay.
Instagram. So on Instagram, you can post already. You can put videos out. You can put stories out. And you know how you can message people on Instagram?
Yeah.
You can have a message thread from you broadcast to all your followers, but no one else can reply. And so that's what this
Okay.
is. So Zuck is using, that's his username, is using this beta broadcast channels feature to announce I am in this thing. I guess there's 360,000 people in here. Maybe it's just verified people. I don't know. But people...
No, I'm not
Or
verified, and
do
I
you,
can be
you,
in it.
You're in it?
do you
Yeah,
guys
I'm in it.
follow
So I
him?
don't know what the rule is for who's in this.
Do you
but-
follow him?
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
it's
So he
that.
sent it out to his followers, I bet.
Oh,
But he has like millions and millions.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure just a lot of them haven't
didn't
looked
join.
at like the group. It's probably the
Probably.
like secondary inbox or whatever.
So yeah, so he's using this like broadcast feature, and it's kind of like maybe that is a cool feature. Like if you do a lot of like really big text posts, or if you're like let's say you're a product reviewer and you do a lot of like product reviews in your captions of images, but you want like to just like add updates or like talk about your merch or something small like that, you can do this with a text post to all your followers and like a message. Cool, whatever.
I actually think that's cool.
It's a cool feature. It's an
Yeah.
additional communication method for creators. And he's using it in this example to tell us about his new feature.
I thought he
is
just
that.
sent it to all the like verified people, which I thought was really weird.
Oh no, yeah, it's everybody. Everybody get subscribing. Everybody.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think my one thing you mentioned here, the extra step of verification through the ID badge, is something that I've been super interested about if Twitter ever goes that route, because it's like that is the one thing that does make the verification of being a real person way more on
real.
point.
Yeah.
I just don't know how many people want to actually post their government ID to social media sites like this.
Meta?
To Meta or Twitter, honestly. Like I think a lot of people on Twitter right now in that scenario are not people who like posting their public identification.
Does
stuff.
Twitter actually verify that you're a human when you sign up for Blue?
No. That's something they've said though.
That's like the annoying thing about it being called verified, because you're not. You're just paying money.
it's verified you
Spam
got a
bots.
credit
I
card
believe
somewhere.
they said that because you're entering in like a credit card or debit card, they're relying on the banks to
Yeah,
do
that's
the authentication.
stupid. That is so stupid.
It's less secure than your actual.
You can
government
create
ID.
so many fake like credit card numbers that
didn't
you mask yours.
privacy-
That
.com?
like didn't that Twitch streamer's Fish just like spend all of his credit card money on the Nintendo eShop recently?
Wait,
Twitter
what?
Blue verified.
Okay, someone pull up this headline real quick to make sure I'm getting it
No.
right. There was a Twitch streamer who wrote like a API that lets his goldfish play Switch games just by swimming around the tank.
Fish play
Okay.
Pokemon Violet and do some shopping on the eShop.
Yeah, and it spent like,
Oh my god.
and that's a fish.
That's so funny.
So
Credit card fraud from your
in
After
theory,
a mishap spending money on
in
the
theory,
eShop.
this fish could have signed up for Twitter Blue and been verified as a human.
yeah, as the Twitch streamer.
Elon,
Just saying.
That is amazing.
Yeah. Government ID. Fish don't get, I don't think fish get government IDs. So so you could argue you're getting a little more out of the Meta subscription product, Meta verified.
I still think it's stupid.
I agree.
Yeah, I just
But this is slightly less stupid.
it is totally pay to play. I mean, like, to be fair, if you're getting, I don't even want to say this, but like, if you are boosting posts, like, some people might find that worth the money. I just hate that that's what this social media is. I think I still use Instagram mostly as a place where I feel like I'm more interacting with my like in like real life friends and like people I've known for a while, where I am posting my profile is public, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
know most of the people that like my posts on Instagram.
There's a difference between like and who I interact with. So like
Like
the
messages.
stories and messages I'm doing all feel like my home friends, but my
Yeah.
profile is public because I like showing off what we do here and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. What's annoying to me is kind of that Facebook and Instagram, you're kind of agreeing to this thing that they're going to take your data and make money off of you that way.
Yeah.
And it's like,
now you're
okay,
paying more.
yeah, but now I'm paying for you to take my data.
Right.
And like, it's fine. Like, I'm one of those people that I don't mind it as much in a weird way because I do get better ads that way. And like, my Instagram experience is better that way.
Yeah.
But now I'm paying for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the same time.
This is
which
a
weird.
conversation we were sort of thinking about with like the fact that Netflix started this kickoff of unlimited recurrent revenue where they have a subscription model and everything started moving towards subscription models. And we've been talking for like a couple of years now about like how can we make it so companies can stop taking our data, because that's how they make money on us. The products are free because you are the product.
Subsidized, yeah.
But the only way that they could make money otherwise is if you pay them. But now they want both, which
Yeah.
seems really
They want to
not
scale up all the
great.
money.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is like the peak of this subscription age.
Yeah.
Like we talk about the iPhone all the time. Like the iPhone is one of the most successful products of all time, and it's grown every year, but it's slowing in its growth and it's kind of saturated. And so now
Subscriptions.
Apple needs the chart to keep going up. Tim Cook's like, let's get this chart going up. So what happens? They find a way to charge everyone with an iPhone a recurring amount over and over
Apple
and try
One,
to upsell
baby.
you Apple One, Apple Storage, Apple all this stuff. And so now they make a ton of money on that too.
Yeah.
So on the back of the iPhone, way more money. It's just going to
Services.
keep going
Yeah.
until you're spending $12 a month for heated seats in your BMW.
Were you gonna say something?
I just was gonna repeat, like, it's funny that we have been talking about, oh, how can we get rid of like these companies taking our data, and in the end we weren't, and we were just gonna pay them more. Like, it's just
I think versus the Apple situation is like people paying for subscriptions are the everyday users of that, where the Meta and the Twitter ones, would you agree, seem far more focused on the creators that they're looking to make the money from?
Because it's just a subset that wants verification.
Yeah, like I know there are people who want verification, but still, like, look at the Twitter Blue numbers it was like 180,000. I can't imagine the Meta numbers are going to be. There's a ton of creators on Instagram, and there are people who make a living. They will get this, but that's such a small subset, and you're just now charging the people that are making your platform popular. So you're getting very small feedback from that, kind of screwing over the people that are driving a lot of traffic to you, and you're just making an abysmal amount of money in comparison to the rest.
I guess there's like this magic rule of like when you have a subscription version and a free version, it's usually around 10%, give or take, that will subscribe. And when you make the subscription version more expensive, you make it a worse experience for them. But the masses that are not subscribing, that have their experience unchanged, will be perfectly happy. And so you kind of have to weigh, like, where do we get this money from? By charging the 90% and ruining all of their experiences, or by charging the 10% and keeping the 90% happy but making more money?
it's optional too.
I just feel like that amount of money is like a drop in the pan for these two companies that are huge. If only Meta like created a really cool $1,500 product that would totally change the way businesses
that's a
work
thought.
these days, they would be rolling in money. Yeah.
Would they be, though?
Oh, they could be if anyone cared.
There's also been this in like the business world. There's been this conversation that's being had recently about the value that creators get from the services that they use on these platforms versus like the fact that they don't pay for them. Well, they pay for them with their data. I think a lot of people have been being like, well, you know, if I'm an Instagram influencer with like 5 million followers and I make one post and it literally tangibly directly influences the amount of money that I'm making, paying $12 a month is like literally nothing.
Is a no-brainer.
And you are still getting more value as a creator who is paying the $12. I think it's just like everyone got used to this ad model, this like data model, and now that they're like, yeah, you should probably pay us a little bit to be able to make money. It's kind of a weird like you got to pay money to make money thing.
So
but
I would argue though it's less of if you're the influencer with 5 million followers, it's not that you're only getting like you're not only paying them with your data, you're paying them with your data and the data of 5 million other people that are following you. So you are more than
That's fair
paying back
enough.
what it is.
Yeah,
like
fair
I think
enough.
these people are driving traffic to these sites that are making the money off of data, and like
these are multi-billion,
charge them $12
multi-billion-dollar companies. I can't really simp for them. So
I didn't think you were. I just
No,
think
I'm
like
not.
there
I'm
is
not.
way more. Like
it's a good point. It's a good point.
Yeah. It's also, if you are the Instagram account with 5 million followers, are you driving people to Instagram, or are you driving people to content once they're already on Instagram?
You're still keeping them
keeping
on
people
there.
on
Yeah,
Instagram.
like
Especially
they're
with
still
your
serving
Instagram
ads.
content.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think they're making these companies money, and now the companies are just charging them
Asking for more
Like
money.
you said, most of them will be fine, but I think the people who won't care about $12 are. I mean, Twitter Blue is.
Yeah.
You said mostly 10% people will subscribe.
At most,
it's
yeah.
like 0.02% of
Yeah.
Twitter users are subscribed.
This
to
is
Blue.
this is the CEO decision. It's like, how do you keep the chart going up?
Susan would never.
How do you
this
make
to us.
Well, YouTube Premium's a thing and people pay for it, but that's just like
That's for the
anyone-
user.
That's
though.
not for the creator.
it's for the user, but it's the same magic 10%, and it's those people are getting ad-free YouTube and some extra features.
But see, that's the thing. Like, this is the thing. Like, this is the model that everyone was like, if you don't want your data, if you don't want the ads, if you don't want this, you pay us money. Like,
Right.
this has been the model for a long time of ads run the internet. And if you don't want the ads, give us a few bucks a month. And that's like what everyone has kind of been thinking of. And now it's like, we're going to take your data and you're going to have ads on Instagram and you're going to pay us $12 a month. Think about the amount of ads you get on Instagram, and you're still paying $12 a month for this verified service.
That's
if
true.
this got rid of your ads, then that would be more worth it.
Would you pay $10 a month on Instagram for no ads?
No.
Because there's going to be a subset that might do that.
I don't know. It is annoying though if I'm looking through stories.
Yeah.
I get 2 stories from people I know, and then there's 2 ads.
Always 2 ads. And then 2 more stories. And
Oh
then 2
my
more
God,
ads.
dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what makes it such a terrible service. It's literally half ads.
Instagram ads are really good. I've bought so much crap.
I was just gonna say that.
I think I might
They got
miss
me
ads
down.
on Instagram.
Mine
Keep
just
it
make me
going.
feel bad about
I'll pay them
myself all the
$12
time.
to keep ads on my.
I did buy a jacket and pants from Instagram. That's the only thing I've ever bought from an Instagram ad. And they're pretty good.
I almost bought a cat sweatshirt, but the comment said that it took like 20 weeks to show up. So I said, never mind.
Overseas shipping, maybe.
It was a really cute cat on the sweatshirt.
See, they only get that
Sounds
from
worth it.
stealing all of your information. I would never have gotten that ad, but they found you with that.
I did.
And that's just because they got that sort of data on you.
I did screenshot it for later.
See? I mean, that's a lot of smarts, but also a lot of data. Fair. Touche.
If you made it this far on the podcast,
Yeah, for real.
thank you. We're going off the rails.
Ellis, you had this theory that I really like.
Well, we have to talk about one more feature before we get to Ellis's theory,
Oh, okay.
right? Which is that Instagram's also allowing picture replies.
I just
right?
saw this. Yeah.
You have it on your.
Yeah.
It's on your page.
Yeah, as of like 2 days ago, my comment section is way more vibrant. There's way more stuff happening in my comment section.
It's like Tumblr, yeah.
Like I posted something, I posted a reel actually, and I was like, oh, it's not really getting that much traction, but why does it have 350 comments? And I opened it, and it's just GIFs, the whole thing.
Wait, what?
image.
Did
GIFs.
you just say
GIFs? I said it. Yeah, I said it on the podcast. I said
I heard nothing
GIFs.
wong with that. What are you guys talking
GIFs, and there are
Ellis
tons of
GIFs.
them.
Ellis tiebreaker. As long
The
as you're right.
pronunciation.
Yeah.
GIF. You can say it.
Yes, we
GIF.
won.
I've
Ellis?
always been a GIF person.
Yeah.
It's okay to be wrong.
It's
okay
not
to be wrong.
It's not graphics.
Because isn't
I'm
it
starting my own
graphics.
Yeah.
trivia show, and I'm just going to ask that question over and over again.
To be fair, I think the creator
Tell me why.
pronounces it like that, but he was wrong.
Tell me why
so-
though. Like why is it GIF?
I don't know why. It just is.
Because
It's GIF.
because of what Andrew said. The creator said it's
creators.
GIF.
I mean, that's a pretty good rule.
That's a
like,
great
if you
rule.
invented the name, you kind of get to choose how it's said.
Marquez listens to creators.
Yeah, I respect the creation, the creative process.
I respect our one
Anyway,
true
the
creator.
comment section is insane now because it's just constant. Like nobody leaves comment replies anymore because the images get voted to the top, and now it's just rainbows and unicorns everywhere. It's crazy.
I hate GIFs.
They're everywhere.
Just saying.
But those pictures,
Yeah.
Ellis, can you just
Yeah,
explain to
so-
this? I want you to explain it on the pod because you started yesterday and it was awesome.
Okay, so if you're like me and you hang out in Wikipedia circles on the internet, you
What does that
eventually
mean?
like if you're a Meta user, there's Cool Freaks Wikipedia Club. If you're on Instagram, there's Depths of Wikipedia. There's lots of these like Wikipedia centered communities.
I did not know this.
Anyway, if you're in them long enough, you realize that there's a lot of reposts.
Yeah.
Like there's only so many really cool Wikipedia pages. One of the ones that gets reposted all the time is this like biological theory. It's not my theory. It's called carcinization, and it's this idea that crab adjacent species like lobsters and hermit crabs generally evolve towards becoming a crab. And lots of animals that don't exhibit crab-like features converge biologically on the crab format because it's just advantageous in a lot of ways.
To be a crab.
And so yesterday when Marquez was like,
Crab rave.
yeah, that's what they're raving about, being
Yeah.
superior.
what?
And so when Marquez, turned around and was like, yo, check it out. There's check it out. There's pictures of Instagram now. I was like, oh my God, it's like the crab thing. It's like all social media platforms just slowly become Tumblr.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, what's the
Really?
crab? Tumblr's
Tumblr's
the
the crab.
I don't know if there is like, an exact crab. I don't even know if it's actually Tumblr. We were talking yesterday about it looking a lot like Tumblr.
Yeah,
I do think
I've
that,
also never had a Tumblr, so I don't even know
me neither.
what
I
that
didn't
platform's
really
like.
have one either.
I think that as social media tries to become more personalized, because there was like Finstagrams for a long time and there still are, but like a lot of a lot of different social media now is trying to like come back to the roots of just having your friends and having it be more literally social with the people that you know. They probably all converged towards Tumblr because that's more what Tumblr was about. Tumblr was like you and your friends, and there were Tumblrs that were popular that people just followed in general, but it was more for you and your friends.
Isn't that how all social media starts before it goes mainstream?
Yeah, because this is the sine wave, right?
Yeah.
Everything is a trend wave of a sine wave.
Yeah, Facebook was like just you and your friends from school.
Yeah.
And all the brands showed up.
Yeah.
And now you left because even your parents are there. And so
Yeah.
you went to Instagram for all your friends.
Yeah.
And then the Reels and all your brands showed up.
Yeah.
There was an in between though. Like I don't know if like there was a year or two, maybe even like 3, where the brands hadn't showed up yet, but celebrities had, and they didn't understand exactly. Like, have you seen any of Vin Diesel's like 2011 Facebook uploads?
Yes. That's like, but that's like pure. I still like that because that seems like they're trying to be one of us. Like genuinely trying instead of just
Family.
like I am here to
Family.
monetize.
Yeah.
It's like them kind of hanging out. I don't know. That's weird. But then like, yeah, you see like the early days of YouTube, it's like, here's me at the zoo. Here's like a 5-second video of me, my golf swing. And then
Yeah.
suddenly we're here.
Yeah.
You know? So it's
Entertainment,
like
baby.
the sine wave of social media. So yeah, Instagram comment section going through the same sine wave.
Yeah.
It's just everything is
Crab
gonna be there.
rave.
Crab rave.
Crab wave.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. It's like influencers and then your friends, and then influencers and then your friends.
And
Just
then
kinda like this.
companies pay your friends to sell you stuff.
Oh God.
Hashtag parade.
And then the kiss of death is when your parents show up. Is that how it goes?
Thank God my parents are like the most boomer type boomers of all boomer.
My mom follows all of you guys on every social
Really?
media platform, and
Everyone?
will listen to this
I'm gonna
podcast.
DM
If
her.
everyone
YouTube.
wants to say hi to
Subscribed
my
on
mom.
YouTube. Is that?
Oh yeah, she's on YouTube, on Instagram, on Twitter. She follows all of you
TikTok.
guys.
Hi, Andrew's mom.
Wow.
She'll love that.
That's
Thank
amazing.
you.
To my parents, Facebook is the internet. They don't even know how to
That's-
Google things.
Oh,
I know.
Almost, it reminds me of like the old AOL, like where you had to dial up into it, and you were inside the browser, and that's where your chat
Yeah.
was and everything. Like
Yeah.
that was the internet.
Yeah. It's crazy.
that's
Yeah.
a subset of the internet.
AOL's the crab. We're all going back to AOL. Okay, we really need
what
to
is
do
this
ad
term?
break and trivia. Carson is
Carcinization? Carcinization?
Spell carcinization.
That's not the trivia
See?
question.
Thank you.
All right, so trivia time. You guys, I'm going to let you guys choose. Do you want a tech trivia question or a science trivia question?
Mung bean.
Not mung bean question. No agriculture.
Tech.
Science. is
Tech or
interesting.
science?
I vote tech.
Science.
Ooh,
I vote science.
that's two for science.
I wish I could have guessed what the votes would have been, and I would have gotten a point for that.
All right, so the science question is
Okay.
the crab theory that Ellis just spoke about
No.
is an example of what kind of evolution? Here are some other examples.
Hold on, you can't ask that because
both on the
we're
page.
on the Wikipedia
really?
page, and it's the
It's
first thing
convergent.
on right
Yeah,
now.
convergent evolution.
Convergent
Okay, so then next question. Got you guys.
Tech question.
No, so then give me one. Close the page.
Closing
Close the page. Give me one example of convergent evolution
Crabs.
Other than
Carson-
other than crabs.
other than crabs.
Other than crabs.
Mung bean position.
Not monk beanization.
Can we have a tech question?
Can I hear the?
Tech question. Okay, it could be a bonus question. Screw it.
Yeah.
Tech question. Why did Amazon name the assistant Alexa?
Oh, I don't know.
We'll see you guys after the break.
Support for today's show comes from Zocdoc. So you know that I'm staring at screens doing reviews for a large portion of my day. It's what I do, not just because of my job, because I generally enjoy it too. But like you, I'm also wearing my headphones or earbuds all day too. So sometimes I wonder what this is doing to my eyes and ears. Maybe I should get them checked out. But finding a specialist can be a real challenge. Luckily, Zocdoc is a free app that can help you find a doctor when you need to or when you want to. So Zocdoc helps you book doctors who are patient-reviewed, take your insurance, and are available when you need them, and treat almost any condition under the sun. So the worst time to try and find great care is when you're feeling the worst. That's why Zocdoc is a great way to find the right doctor that meets your needs and fits your schedule. Book an appointment with a few taps in their app and start feeling better faster. So just go to ZocDoc.com/waveform and download the ZocDoc app for free. and then book a top-rated doctor today. Many are available within 24 hours, so that's ZocDoc.com/waveform. Zocdoc.com/waveform.
All right, welcome back. I have a kind of, I think, fun ending to today's pod. I just asked everybody to bring to the podcast today just a piece of tech, a piece of software, something in the tech world that they're currently enjoying, or I even threw out if you're really not enjoying it, maybe something that doesn't meet expectations. But, I thought we'd just do a little update on maybe some things we're using these days that we don't talk about.
Shout out Roundabout.
What?
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 Roundabout?
We're just going to go around and give shout outs.
Okay.
I just named it.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, I have never heard of that product or service.
Do you want to go first?
I thought you were talking about like that spray that kills bugs, like Roundup.
Off?
No,
No,
I know
Roundup.
No, it is Roundup. Yeah.
I think Off is another one.
Is that what you want to talk about today?
Yes.
Do you want to go first?
I
though?
did steal some Roundup from my cafe and used it in my apartment. Well, I didn't steal it. Somebody else stole it and put it in my apartment.
We're too far off the rails to start over, so we just have to keep going.
Sorry.
Just plow right through this.
I did it. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, the piece of tech that I have been enjoying, because I have not bought anything in like 17 years, it's a piece of software. It's called Arc Browser. You may have heard of it recently in the tech community.
Heard about this.
Yeah. So it's called Arc Browser. It is a browser that basically is made for people who are really bad at tab management, like me.
You're really good at it.
Well, I'm actually
Too
quite good at it. Yes. But it has it has honestly a ton of different features that I don't even fully utilize. But the main feature is that you have a bunch of pinned tabs that are here that never really go away.
Okay.
And what's cool about them too is that you can peek into them and like access things directly depending on the app that it is or the website that it is.
So live preview?
Yeah,
Wait, that was
a live preview.
Like his top emails or
Yeah, my top emails. You can also like in my email, and I don't know, we can maybe figure something out later about changing this. But maybe I don't have it updated. Sorry. But if you jump to a different email account, it doesn't open a new tab. It just creates like a little sub thing here, and you can just pick which one you want to be on it at a time. But the main feature that's useful for me is it creates all of these tabs here, and within a certain amount of time, it erases them. So I have it set for 12 hours. So you can pin tabs. You can create a tab group that is, say, like a folder. So if I'm working on a specific research project, it's a group of tabs that are within this folder, and you can have subfolders and all this stuff that make sure they never go away. And they'll sync across all of your computers that you're using Arc on, which is really nice. So everything is synced. But then all the stuff that you're just like looking at for that day that you don't need to keep will disappear within like 12 hours. There's also all these other features where like all of your downloads are right here.
Looks really nice.
Which is really handy because you can just like drop them into areas if you need to like drag and drop. You've got like your picture library, your screenshots, your downloads are right here, recents. This is folders on your desktop, so you don't even have to really access your desktop. You can just like do your desktop management within the browser. And then there's like an easel feature where you can like create easels and notes, which I don't even really understand this feature that much. But yeah, the new peek feature that they just added is really cool because it makes it so like when you click on something, it creates like a sub tab that floats on top of it.
Yeah.
So if you're on a Twitter link, for example, this isn't updated, but if you're on a Twitter link and you click a link on Twitter, it'll create like a mini arc in front of it that has the link open. And there's a button for like, do you want to expand it to the whole page or do you just want to like get rid of it? So it never even creates a real tab.
Yeah.
It's really useful. There's just like a lot of different cool features, and I haven't not even really scraped the surface of this yet.
All it's missing is a chatbot. That's pretty sick.
But they make major version updates to this like every 3 days. Like they put like huge amounts of work into this, and they're like really pressing it. And I've switched over to it on pretty much all of my computers.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what platforms is it on?
Right now it's only Mac OS, but they're building a Windows version right now. Cool. And they're also building a mobile version.
The mobile version too, you can follow them on TikTok, and the developers and stuff will like give you updates in real time.
Like
It's
every
pretty
couple
cool.
days. Yeah.
Really
Teasers?
clever.
Nice.
Yeah, they're very like transparent about everything that they do. And I just feel like it's a kind of new take on the browser that I really appreciate.
They
so.
should hire you because I only see like 7 tabs open, and the fact that I can see you with only 7 tabs means that this thing is working.
We
phenomenally.
started doing the podcast an hour after we got in, which means I have opened at least 7 tabs since we got in, and they will be erased by the time I leave today.
I think that's a huge win and perfect proof of concept.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Is this one of those things that's eventually going to get eaten by a major existing browser, or can they survive and make something?
I was wondering that too. I don't think so.
I don't think so.
There's enough uniqueness here that I think it could be its own thing.
Yeah.
I think I was telling David this. I think this is what like Chromebooks could have been.
Yeah.
If it was like this powerful.
Yeah. And the company that's making it's called the Browser Company, which
Arc
is also
is a
pretty
great
sick.
name.
Arc is a good name.
Great name.
Yeah. By the Browser Company,
That's tight.
which is very cool. So,
Nice pick. Is
yeah.
it free?
It's free.
Cool.
That's awesome. I think it's niche enough that like I don't know if Chrome would benefit fully taking over it, because like
I just mean like stealing unprotected features. Just like
Anyway, yeah. There's like way more in it that I even know how to use, but just the tab management thing is really useful for me. And I have like a bunch of research groups, and you can also create these new folder, new space, like spaces too. So you can have a workspace so that all of your like pinned tabs and also your tab groups and your folders and stuff are just for work. And you can just switch to your like personal space and it has all your home stuff on it.
nice.
Yeah, it's really cool. I
that
like
looks
it a
really
lot.
nice.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people in the office are using it right now. Like
Yeah.
3 or 4,
Yeah,
5.
me, Adam, Alex, at least are using it. So
Nice.
yeah,
It's taking over.
it's like a big deal for something to like take over a software application that I've been using for an extended
Yeah, a
period of
browser.
time. Usually I like want to try everything, and I try everything for like 10 minutes. I'm like, no, I don't like
I
this.
need this to be multi-platform before I can dedicate my life to it.
Yeah.
Wait, do you use Windows at all?
No, but I need it on my phone so I can like have that sync back and forth. Like
Yeah.
just having the same browser everywhere is
Yeah.
pretty important for a
Yeah.
browser. Bookmarks,
Oh,
autofill.
I don't do that.
I think they'll have the mobile version out in a couple months. So
Cool.
yeah,
Nice.
cool.
Who wants to go next?
Next.
You go next.
Okay. I'm using a new smartwatch.
Been wearing it the whole time.
I have. Actually, also, I thought David was going to do a camera because I just realized he has a camera.
Oh, I
around
just
his
forgot
neck.
to take this off before we. Okay. I was on a walk this morning, and I literally just forgot to take it off.
How long ago was that walk?
It was a 2-hour walk.
You've had a camera on the entire time?
Yeah.
I kind of dig it.
Thanks.
It must not be too heavy.
I just looked down at one point. I was like, David has a camera. Is he taking pictures?
I can't
just-
even see the camera.
I just
so.
usually have cameras. I don't know.
I guess I'm more surprised I've never seen you wearing a camera on the podcast.
Really?
On the
Oh,
podcast. On the podcast.
It's because I remember to take it off.
Anyways, I'm wearing a new smartwatch, and I kind of wanted to see what you guys thought of it, first impressions, because this is a Garmin, which I've used before. I've used many different Garmins before, but I think everyone knows that I use a ton of different watches and try them and then like them and then don't like them anymore. So we're trying a new Garmin. This is, I think, their second one with an AMOLED screen, though, so this screen should be way nicer than most of the other Garmins.
Wait,
It's
which model is it?
the Garmin Epix Gen 2. It is a very expensive model.
Is the embargo
but
up for this yet?
yeah, this has been out for a while.
Oh, okay.
I just like recently got it and I'm loving it so far, but it's a thick boy. It's big.
I'm holding it up. I'm putting it next to my Apple Watch just to confirm it is indeed a thick boy. But it's,
It's
a Garmin.
probably
I'm
not that
shocked.
much bigger than the Apple Watch
Yeah, no,
Ultra.
it's not. This wouldn't be out of that league at all. It is a nice round form factor. I like that. Nice watch band too.
That's typical
$7
knockoff Amazon
Very nice.
watch
Yeah.
band.
So it is 0.1 millimeters thicker than the Apple Watch. It's
Thicker
14.5 versus 14.4.
But like this screen's looking nicer than previous Garmin screens. So I'm enjoying that so
Yeah,
far.
it does look really good.
I have to say, I'm using 0 battery saving options and I'm getting like 5 to 6 days of battery life. And that's with like hiking, GPS, different like compasses and stuff like that. And I've really been enjoying, I think right now my favorite thing is all the customizations you can do in the workouts, because you can change all the screens up to kind of however you want. So if I go to like my hike one right now, the data entry that it shows, and I customized all of this. So I have on the top of it a compass that's always showing which direction I'm going. I have my distance, my elevation, timer, time of day, and then a heart rate sensor at the bottom. And then I can also switch through with elevation levels. Like all of this is customizable. I think it all looks really nice. I'm super excited. And I just booked a trip to the Tetons in Yellowstone in July, and I cannot wait
Climb some stuff.
to use this. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
So what is the price officially?
I think it's like $8.99.
Dang.
All right.
It is.
Apple Watch Ultra.
Yeah,
Territory,
what is?
anyway.
Yeah, a little
$7.99.
cheaper, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, enjoying it. so
Garmin
far.
Epics. Who wants to go next? I'm
could
going
go-
last because
I
I
could
haven't
go
thought of
next.
mine yet.
So mine is the Fujifilm X100S camera. This camera literally came out 10 years ago. It came out in 2013,
I
I believe.
had one of those.
Yeah, I think it's yours. It was wandering
is it-
around the
it's a
studio. It was just
prop.
hanging out. We were using it as a prop.
Silver
Oh.
and black one?
Yep.
Yeah.
I think we lost the charger
one.
for that.
Yeah,
a while
yeah,
ago.
Yeah, I had to get a different charger.
Yeah.
But,
Okay.
but yeah, we just had it around, and then I was going on vacation recently to Colombia, and I was like, I'm just gonna like bring this one along because if it breaks, I know it's not that expensive to
like
replace because it's a
$250
decade
or
old.
something.
Yeah, on eBay, Ellis just looked it up. The cheapest one we found is $374 with chargers and batteries and everything. So it's like pretty cheap,
Dude,
But
I'm just gonna say, like, so right now the X100V has been super viral on TikTok in the last like 6 months, which is ironic because this came out almost 3 years ago.
well, that's the one I wanted, but it's impossible to
yeah,
get.
just in the last 3 months, this has been going insanely viral. You could buy that camera, the S, for like $130 like 6 months ago.
Yeah, it's
now
crazy.
it's triple the price.
Because it's a great camera. It's
Yeah.
still so good.
Yeah, they're
like,
all great.
I took it around, walking around Colombia, taking pictures. It was fantastic, and it's a great pictures. Like
Yeah.
for a APS-C sensor, I believe, right?
yeah,
It's really clean, and
Is
it's
a
fixed lens.
fixed lens? Is it
Yeah.
a prime?
yeah.
Yeah, 23 millimeters.
Okay, that's why I didn't like it.
So it's a 35 millimeter equivalent, which
Okay.
is fantastic.
It's a
for
nice
just
little
walking
versatile-
around.
yeah.
So I really enjoyed it walking around Colombia and just taking pictures. And like
Nice.
I showed it to my girlfriend. We were out there because I was like taking pictures of her and her family and things like that. And she was looking at the pictures. She's like, I really like this camera. And she's like not a camera person.
That's the best endorsement,
Yeah.
by the way. If someone like isn't really into cameras, but they're just like, I like the pictures
Yeah,
from
like,
it.
it
You're
takes
like, oh,
great
that's a huge.
yeah.
and it's again 10 years old.
That's
Like,
why the
it's
X100s
crazy.
have been going viral on TikTok recently, because Fujifilm has always had the film simulations
Yeah.
that make the images look like film. And
that's popular right now.
normies are like, wait, I can take a photo and it just looks good straight out of camera. Yeah.
Who'd have thunk? But yeah, that one's mine.
What was the Fujifilm you set up for me when I took to Yosemite?
The X100V.
That was that?
Yeah.
That was really fun. I just also like the form factor of it being nice and light.
Yeah.
And just like being able to take it and throw it in a backpack or around your neck that doesn't like not dragging around an A7 or an R5 and RF lenses.
Yeah.
Like it's so much easier and more fun to
For
just
travel cameras, the X100 series are awesome.
Yeah.
And you can buy the original one too. It's like, it'll be slower and the autofocus kind of sucks, but like whatever.
Yeah, the
It's like
autofocus
100.
was not great on this, but
Yeah.
I rarely use autofocus
Yeah.
anyway, so it was
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah, it's going to be cooler and better than your phone. So yeah, they're fun.
nice.
All right, so I have been really enjoying an app for my iPad called StaffPad. It's really expensive for an app, which makes it a scary purchase. It's $90, and that's before any in-app purchases.
Oh my God.
Oh, what?
In-app purchases go anywhere from like $80 to $300.
Oh my
You're
God.
really gonna have to sell us on this one.
So like,
Wow.
and what's freaky about it is because it's the app. Like, there's no trials. There's no there's no refunds. Like,
Dang.
you're in it once you're in it. But what StaffPad is it's a music notation software, and it's the anti-music notation software. If anyone has ever used any of these programs before, they are the biggest sufferers of like bloat of any software idiom.
More than Chrome.
Yeah, no, every single one has a completely unusable toolbar because it's just so stuffed with stuff. There's no point. So this is like the exact opposite of that. Like when you open the program, it gives you a blank, non-paginated stave, and you just write with the pencil.
Can you say
yeah,
explain what that means?
I really need some explanation on what's
normies.
going on here.
So a traditional music score, for anyone that's ever, Marquez played trombone. Actually, and David played
played a lot of
drums.
music.
And,
I played the
and you
drums in
mu-
middle school,
Okay,
but
okay.
I
So
still
wait,
have no idea what's happening.
So when you have a sheet of music, right, like it's on a page, and then when you're finished reading that page, you flip to the next page. So all of these music notation softwares also operate with pages. Like you write in a page, like a Word document, and the next one is a page. But a lot of music happens outside of music notation now. And when you open a program like Logic or GarageBand or Pro Tools, there's no pages. It's just an endless timeline. And that is the philosophy that this works with. And it was funny, I was talking with Hayato about it, and he was like, when I mentioned that it was paginated just means in pages as opposed to endless.
Crabinated.
Yeah. he was like, it's funny that that's like one of the last vestiges of skeuomorphism to like leave iOS design is like is pagination. Anyway, so it's this really cool app that prioritizes like handwriting recognition and speed. And if you're trying to like make something that you can take to an orchestra and it's the most beautiful looking score ever, you're probably not going to be able to get it done in this. But if you're on the subway and you have 45 minutes and you have a musical idea in your head, it is unbelievably fun to just like sit there and write music with your hand, like in your own handwriting, hit play, and then hear it played back to you. It's like in the B-roll, there'll be some like examples.
I was gonna say I'm gonna need to see this.
Sounds like magic.
I also
you want to? I mean, do you want a live demonstration?
a little bit. You were describing it, and I was like, in my head, I was like, it would be so cool, but Ellis would probably think this is stupid if you could write the music and then it would play it. I was like, that would be insane. And then that's what you said.
I want to be able to like hum or sing something to it and then have it like notate it and then also be able to play it.
All right. So I have StaffPad open.
Okay.
I'm going to add an instrument. In this case, why don't we say it is a
harmonica.
Alto sax.
I don't know if I have a harmonica.
Alto sax.
I wouldn't. How? What's the?
You just do guitar.
The
Alto
in-app
sax.
purchase for a harmonica.
We have alto sax. So then it opens this endless stave, single
Okay.
stave,
Yeah.
and then I go in and I'll write some stuff.
What are you writing?
I'm going to write a G major scale.
Do you write it directly on the stave?
So I've written 4/8 notes. Right, you can't see. You're so far away.
I can see it.
And then I hit the next bar.
I have good eyes.
And it converts it into real written notes. And then when I hit play, let me make sure my volume's way up. Then when I hit play,
Oh.
there you go.
Magic.
And it can do anything.
But-
and,
How did you write the notes?
You have to know how to write.
With his Apple Pencil.
with my Apple, I wrote them just as you would
You
write.
just tap.
No, you write like the same way you would write.
You
on a
wrote
normal-
G major scale.
No, I
The
I
musical
wrote-
note for that.
Yeah, I wrote 4/8 notes ascending.
Oh.
It's like how in the text box you can write letters and then it just goes OCR
Yeah.
and just turns
Yeah.
into. It's like that, but for music notes.
Okay.
It's the music note equivalent of Scribble. You know, another thing that I never realized doing this is like there are certain musical symbols, like a quarter note rest, that I just always
know that one.
My
I
favorite.
had just always written it as a squiggle. Like I had
It's
always
like
just
a
gone.
specific shape.
It's a very specific squiggle.
You remember that much from playing trumpet in
Yeah, you had to, 'cause you
middle
had to
school?
read it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's hard.
yeah.
Anyway,
Well, drum didn't have notes of. I guess you did. We didn't, but rests. Yeah. Anyway.
so if you like music and you're rich like me, buy StaffPad. I like this app because it was actually originally developed for Windows Surface or Microsoft Surface, and then it just functioned so much better on iPad. They're like, this is an iPad app now.
Evergreen.
That's classic.
God.
OCR is optical character recognition. So it's like a super advanced, specific version of OCR. It's pretty sick. It's pretty sick.
Damn.
While you guys are talking, I thought of two.
Oh, is one of them OCR? Is that
No,
yours?
no, actually, it could be. So the two I have are, one, I just got the Anker 747 charger. It's just like a normal charger. It's a smaller version of a 150 watt charger, like charges a laptop super fast. It has 3 USB-C ports and 1 USB-A. The USB-A is kind of slow, but like whatever. It's just a nice, convenient weight savings for my backpack because I carry my charger everywhere. And you know that little like rubber thing that we have with suction cups on it?
Yeah, wait, what is that?
Look at this. It's to
Yeah.
Oh
Plug
my
it-
God, that makes so much more sense.
yeah,
It comes with it, right?
It comes with it, and it's to plug it into the wall and to like hold it stably. So if you have like 3 or 4 things plugged into it,
Oh, I threw
you
that
can
part
pull
out.
one
Wait,
out.
Or also like
Can you
in an-
describe the object for the audio folks?
Yeah, it's like a rectangular rubber mount, like a frame basically, and it's got suction cups on one side, and so you use it to frame the charger when it's plugged into the wall, so that when you wiggle a cable out of it, it doesn't pull that out of the wall too.
But also, like, if you're at an airport and it's a outlet that's probably been used 1,000 times, and when it has that like bottom weight on it, if you plug it into a really loose outlet, it'll
might
kind of
fall
start
out.
falling forward, so that it like keeps it in.
So that's what this is.
That's
you
what
can take
that
it
is.
with you wherever you want.
We just throw it against the glass window all the time.
Yeah, it's,
But now I know
it's a
what it's
great
for.
suction cup mount. So there's that. I think it's about what, $100, $109. And the other one that I came up with, I'm already forgetting what I was. Oh, you mentioned you wanted to be able to hum something.
Yeah.
And it would just know.
Yeah.
There's an app that I learned when I was going into pre-college.
No, I've never gotten SoundHound to work ever. It's
I
like
got it to work one time, and that was good enough
I remember
for me.
this way
So
back
I'm
in
just
the
gonna
day.
say
I remember-
SoundHound.
I remember
You can.
SoundHound.
Do you have it on right now?
I have it. You can theoretically hum something.
You
and
can do
it'll
that
actually
into
do it.
Google.
I don't want to
too.
try.
You can do it into Google Assistant as well.
So, what are you gonna hum?
I haven't tried that.
You guys can guess, and then also,
Okay.
Okay.
what do I do? Do I just
You
press?
just hit the big SoundHound logo. Blue.
Oh, it just said, "Are you singing or humming?"
It got it. So,
got it?
Yeah, it says blue dabba dee right at the top.
Nice.
stand
It also
corrected.
says the chicken dance.
You can do this with Google though. Look,
But the first one is blue.
You can do this with the Google.
Oh, that Google thought it was the chicken
Sorry,
dance.
no,
Also,
sorry. No. Okay, look, ready? Search a song. That
looks way cooler, by nice.
Wow.
That was way cooler.
Google did a
Screw
way
SoundHound.
better animation. All right, I'm deleting
Yeah.
SoundHound.
Also, but I do want to say, SoundHound, I apologize. Clearly, I was using a previous, or maybe my voice, or I don't know.
My
but-
humming was horrible. Also,
Yeah, it
so
was
like if
took
it got that,
It took me a while to get what you were humming.
I
but
think
got
I
it.
shouldn't have hummed. I should have done it like how David
Oh,
did. That
guys,
was
it's time
really
to be
smart.
real. Ready?
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I just started using this.
I don't know how to be real.
It's up to David.
There we go.
All right, it happened.
Hey, what a smile! It says
Nice. You guys got to see the Be Real live.
live.
Well, I think
3
that's
days
where we'll
later.
end it. We do need to try to figure out what these trivia answers were. I am having a feeling I'm not going to get any of these right, but we'll try anyway.
Can I grab one of those, please?
What do you need?
Oh,
Oh,
David's
yeah,
got
yeah,
me.
you got it.
You know, this first question, it may seem difficult. You got a 50% shot. You know, I think we're going into this feeling good.
We are.
Yeah.
Okay.
So in 2021, were there more baby girls named Siri or baby boys named Anakin?
We're writing the name that we think is there's more of.
There's more in
2021.
You
Yeah,
can either say
born-
like boys or you can say the name.
Any day now.
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
I got it.
All right.
I love the.
I feel like I'm gonna be wrong,
Yeah.
but that's okay.
Yeah.
Ready?
Flip 'em and read.
Flip.
I said Anakin.
That is correct.
Oh man.
What did you
I
say?
guess everyone. I said Siri. Sorry.
I said boys.
Look how Mark has spelled Anakin though.
I don't know how to spell Anakin.
Annie can.
Okay,
A-N-I-K-A-N.
I'm glad you said that because there were way. Okay, I couldn't. Exact numbers. I don't know. Every source I found said there were way more Anakins, like incomparably more Anakins than Series. However, if you misspell Anakin, there's still double digits.
Damn.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah. How did you spell it?
Anikan. Probably just the simplest way I could think of.
What can Annie do?
Anything.
I
Annie
assumed
can.
a lot of people would have named Star Wars based, but hated.
I think by 2021, like Siri as a name gets a bad rep, but Anakin might be a little cooler because it's like Star Wars.
Are
is
we?
popular.
Do we like
According
episode 1 now that
I loved episode 1.
really?
Yeah,
I thought everyone hated episode 1.
it's got sand and it gets everywhere.
I mean, I know
episode 2.
Anakin is.
That's episode 2.
That's episode 1, right?
I haven't
I don't
seen
want to go any
Because
further into this conversation.
Anakin says that as a young adult while trying to court Princess.
Wow, spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, is it
my
episode
God.
3?
it. I haven't seen it yet, man.
Are you serious?
What?
That's a joke.
I knew that was
Spoiler
coming.
alert.
No, it is episode.
Spoiler.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just want to throw out there. According to the social Security Administration or whatever. 2021 was actually the peak of boys being named Anakin. So we're on the way up.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
It's a classic.
With Star Wars like getting more and more popular as Lucasfilm and Disney
How many
just
babies were
destroys
named
it.
Obi.
Darth.
You did not. No, I didn't look it up. I'm joking. Okay. Next question. So this was
Jar Jar?
Wait, Marcus, do you know the significance of Anakin?
It's one of the main characters.
Not wrong.
Stop the How much of Star Wars have you not seen?
Well, I haven't watched the movies, but like I've seen memes and enough of it.
Wait,
to
you haven't seen
kinda know.
you haven't seen a single Star Wars movie?
Not entirely through, no.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but I know characters' names. I know like
I
who's
haven't-
good and who's bad, kind of.
Is Anakin good or bad?
We're
Anakin is good.
next trivia extravaganza. There is totally going to be a We Grill Marquez about Star Wars category.
You're just gonna get a bunch
I mean,
of,
I'm going to get most of them wrong also.
yeah,
but-
I don't know.
one day we'll have a Star Wars and Harry Potter trivia centered episode, and I will die happy. Okay, next question. The crab theory that Ellis spoke about
Oh boy.
was an example of convergent evolution.
question.
There's both. We did both. So the convergent evolution, you guys were correct. But can you give me an example of convergent evolution? Any example?
Like
There
from
are a
another
lot.
animal that...
From any, yeah. There's a lot of
Really?
examples.
Really? Okay. I had a couple that I was juggling that I'm gonna write and also cross out.
I have literally no idea.
I'm more interested to see if you will consider this right or wrong.
I was gonna
or
say
what-
I might have to do some like quick Googling.
I know there's
but
going... Well... Yeah. You did not describe how specific we have to be.
for animals.
Too late.
It has to be animals.
Oh,
You're...
Yeah.
Sure. Oh, okay.
All right, flip them and read. What do we got?
I just wrote I wrote birds.
Okay, wait. Andrew wrote birds. What about birds?
There's probably some convergent
Crabs?
birds.
There's only one kind of bird.
If crabs is
There's
the answer-
tons of birds.
Yeah,
Are
but
you
they're all
kidding me?
birds.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's not convergent evolution, it's just evolution.
are they all converging on one type of bird?
They're,
Tell
Yeah,
me,
like, what
tell
is
me I'm
the-
wrong.
they're converging.
They all have beaks.
You're wrong.
They have feathers. They fly.
Not all.
Actually, they don't all fly. Those
Yeah.
are the ones left behind. They haven't
I
converged.
feel like this is
Damn.
subjective, Adam.
No, it is not. I mean, I guess depending if you consider biology subjective.
What you said?
Oh,
I wrote 4 legs.
4 legs?
There's not that many things with 2 legs. Is it 2 legs?
No.
Oh.
No, I said sharks.
more specific.
So you're actually, I'm gonna give that to you because that's the closest one.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
was it? Fish?
Shark and dolphin bodies is an example of convergent
I hope I
evolution.
converge to be a shark or dolphin.
Sharks have been around for like 400 million years.
Yeah,
or something.
that's
I feel like
crazy.
if they were
But
going
that
to evolve,
doesn't-
they would have changed.
Birds, if you would have said bird wings, I would have given you a point.
Bro,
Be-
birds have wings.
Are you
Yeah, but-
saying
Because bird wings and insect wings is an example of convergent evolution. Quick fact check, David is correct.
what?
Tetrapods, 4 legs,
told
is an
you.
example of convergent evolution.
You didn't fact check it on the spot.
4 legs, I had to put in tetrapod because when you put in 4 legs, it's like, what the hell are you talking about?
So I get the point, right?
You get the point. There.
Andrew's going to go nuts on this birds.
Go.
now.
I think he's right.
I do think that birds is a good one, though, even if you didn't get it right.
The wings. If I said wings,
Yeah,
then I
more
was
than one
correct.
thing turned into a flying. object.
so
I have a bunch of other cross.
why do we
Not
not?
because- wait,
why
what?
are we not sharks
almost
and
kissed.
or birds?
No, it's not all creatures.
No, it's-
There's like certain
Creatures that have
environments.
just hit their like peak. I
yeah,
guess.
there's
parts
certain
of it.
environments for which certain evolutionary features are ideal, and
Yeah.
once they reach that ideal, they don't.
Need to
There's
change
no
anymore.
further evolution needed. It's like
Yeah.
when giraffes get
Until
longer
their
and longer
environment
necks,
changes again.
and like they've reached the height where like they can reach all of the leaves, and it's no longer evolutionarily advantageous to be even taller. So giraffes aren't like still evolving longer and longer
Right.
necks. So
well,
it's like
convergent evolution is technically when 2 different things evolve
right.
to the same
So
thing.
some other mammal also evolves a longer and
long
longer
neck.
neck and the
So
same
other-
form
okay.
and hooves, and they just turn into a giraffe because that's the optimal. Like,
So other
form.
fish were evolving into sharks.
There's no doubt
No,
a
so,
ton
like-
of different sharks that have all evolved to have the same look. They're all the same looking.
Oh, the same
shark.
like.
So
yeah.
flying is an example of convergent evolution.
Didn't like
'Cause-
all the dinosaurs become birds?
Yeah.
No, there's
Thank you, Dave.
That's what
no.
I'm saying. I agree.
The bird is the last living example of a dinosaur, but not all dinosaurs
Sharks.
became birds.
Sharks, crocodiles.
But they weren't dinosaurs.
the crab brave is slowly getting louder. in the background.
Second trivia question after that long tangent.
Oh, the tech one.
Well, this was the third trivia question, actually. Yeah, the tech one. Why did Amazon name the assistant Alexa? What was that?
Someone just groaned.
And time is coming up. Flip 'em and read.
Is it an acronym?
I wrote that it's an acronym or some sort of a combo of Amazon made up words.
I wrote random name generator.
I wrote executive's daughter.
I like
Nope.
that. That's a good answer.
So, according to Amazon, it was inspired by the Library of Alexandria. And that's why they named
Why?
it Alexa.
In what way?
The Library of Alexandria was the source of the library that burned down and we lost a lot of knowledge.
Alexa, like Alexandria.
Sure. Yeah.
Alex.
Well, Alexander
Alexa.
is spelled Alexander.
Yeah, but it's not Alexander. It's Alexander.
I mean, those are all too long. for
Alexandria.
I think Alexandria is named after Alexander. I don't know who else would be named after.
Wait, the city is named after the dude?
I thought.
I'm just saying.
Fact check.
I'm just saying that's how it's spelled. Like Alexa's
it
just the
starts.
first half of that.
That's fair.
Yeah. So that's why.
It was.
City in Virginia.
You might.
That's right. That's what it was.
Wow,
named
Amazon has a lot of love for Virginia, huh?
So no one got any points for that. Sorry.
after. No.
Yeah.
Dang.
All right.
Well, that's been fun.
I think
hope
Andrew's answer of
some
birds
of you got some
birds.
something out of that.
I hope some of you made it this far.
Yeah. If you made it this far into the podcast, I need you to write a comment that just says, "I know many different animals with 4 legs," or just name animals with 4 legs. That would be pretty sick too. Let us know you got this far.
Table.
Cool. That's one too. All right. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for rating. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.
Use your 5-star rating on us this month.
Waveform was produced by Adam Molina and Ellis Rovin. We are partnered with Vox Media Podcast Network, and our intro outro music was created by Vane Sill.